Having prepared the paper, we're now back on the boat, and we're taking the paper and basically spreading it out, and now we're going to start our pinning. Obviously, we cannot get on the paper or we will tear it. So what we've done by getting rid of all the excess paper is making our project today a little easier. We used the straight pins, which I talked about before, and we're going to pin the head of the bed to the cushions. Coming halfway back, now I'm going to move the paper up a little bit and move over to the other side where I can reach over and put a couple more pins. I'm now going to start the preliminary chalking to measure or mark the sides of the bed. I'm making sure my paper is nice and flat. I take my chalk and I move my chalk along the very edge of the bed at the front end, and then I'm bringing it down on each side from where I pinned it, pulling the paper back and continuing. At this point, I move to the other side, folding the paper up forward again so that I can reach the forward end, again make my marks without being on the paper. Now I can move off the bed because I'm going to take the filler out. That'll give me a little more access for now. I'll stretch the paper all the way back into the corner here. Put a pin in the corner. Make sure it's still on the right side. I'm feeling with my hand where the bed ends. I'm going to continue to mark down this side on the edge of the paper, down to the corner, along the head of the bed, and back up, pulling the paper tight by hand, up to where the two pieces meet in the center, and then down the edge, along the base again. You do this by holding the chalk on its side and just rubbing it on the side of the cushion. Then the last thing I'm going to do is pick the paper up a little bit, pick up my filler, pull the paper back down, making sure that my chalk line is back out to the edge of the bed, that this is still on the other side of the filler. Take my chalk line, pull the paper tight, and I'm going to make a line across the very bottom of the cushion. At this point, we're now going to reverse the process. We are going to take all of the pins out, and then we're going to cut the paper and test our final template. Now that we've taken all the pins out, the most important part is still ahead of us. We're going to cut along the line all the way around and then make sure that it fits correctly. There are two options. You can cut first and measure later, or hope that your lines are right. I'm going to tell you that I think my lines are right. I'm going to cut along the edge. What I'm doing now is placing the paper on the top. We have basically traced the top part of the mattress. Everything seems to be fitting fine. We look here. I can still see my line all the way up there. I don't see any color of the mattress when I get it stretched out nice and tight. So I would say that this template is in good shape. There are a couple of ways that we can test this. One is to take this and fold it over so that we are now corner to corner and down the middle. If we do this, we've now done one more thing that you can do with our template. If you recall, I said in case you wanted to put individual pieces bottom sheet on each of the beds. We can do that now by simply folding the paper in half, marking the center, and we will use each half for the template. The length was okay, so I'm coming back to the very top. I'm going to cut the overall length off. Nicely folded in half, the two corners touching, the two top ends touching. Put a nice little seam in there, a little crease. I put my template on half of the bed. You'll see that it comes right down the center of the cushion, right to the base. So this template is okay. Now we have one more important thing to do before this template is finished, and that is we must mark the template and give some other information. First things we do is we want to determine where the pillows are. On this boat, the lights for reading and so forth are aft. So we simply make a rectangular box with an X on each side. That represents the pillow. That's so when we finish the sheet, we're good. We have this crease that we made in the middle, all along. That's the center. So if we decide we want to use this to make a fitted bed sheet for only one side, then we just simply use half of the template. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to measure the thickness of the cushion. The thickness of the cushion here measures 5 inches. Template, the filler piece is 5 inches. So we're going to write down here mattress equals 5 inches. We're also going to put top, very bold, circle it. And the reason that you do that is you want to know which side of the template is up. And that's the side that we're looking at now. If for some reason your template is not correct, or if for some reason you have a cutout on one side, if you don't put top on it, we don't know which way to make the sheets. And the last thing, and believe it or not, people have forgot this, you must put your name. All of the templates that are made by Boutique or that are received by Boutique for bedding are filed by the customer name, and they are literally kept forever. So that is our V-Berth template. One more thing I did talk about, I said if you wanted to make a simple piece for the filler, we can take these lines that we made that are still there. Okay, I will emphasize it by increasing the line here so that you see it. If you want to have an individual bottom sheet for the left, an individual bottom sheet for the right, and an individual bottom sheet for the filler piece, we can cut out this template along this line here and use that as a template or a pattern for the filler. We cut along the dotted line that we put up in the middle, and so this will be bottom sheet number 1, bottom sheet number 2, bottom sheet number 3. Then we can make a fitted top sheet that will go from that end the whole width of the bed, and you're all set.